If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your own phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Again, that's Anchor FM to get started. Hello. So welcome to episode 1 of Klaceechatz. And as I let you know in the description of the podcast is that I'll be telling you different stories about things that have happened in my life. And I really want feedback from you all. So please email me with your feedback, klaceechatz@gmail.com, so we can get a discussion going and perhaps I can come to a resolution. Just let me know your opinion. Okay, so this episode 1 is entitled, Should I Reach Out to This Friend or Not? So the friend that I'm referring to, we're going to call her Mika. So this particular friend, we have been friends for about 20 years. We grew up together in the same neighborhood, in the same small town. We went to college together, and then after college, we lived our professional lives in the same town. So I went through a bad breakup years ago, and I'll talk to you about that in a later episode. But that bad breakup perplexed me to a place in my life where I'm like, I'm going to level up professionally and just do the things that I was held back from doing from being in that particular relationship. That particular relationship had me staying in the same town. I wasn't going to move. And this is a small town in a southern state. So I definitely was holding myself back for this particular person. But like I said, we'll talk about that relationship a little bit later. Well, after we broke up, she was definitely there for me. She supported me. She's always been honest. She's always been in my corner. She's never been a friend that I felt like would lie to me or deceive me. She was really, really a good friend to me. So after that breakup, I went into another field, a more advanced field than the field that I was already in. I started traveling all around the country, going to different states and doing IT work. And I was really, really living my best life, which is that's the job that I currently do now. So in my travels, I met my current husband, which he obviously was a boyfriend at that point. But I met him in my travels, and we began to get close. And, I would come home to my home state sporadically and still hang out with my friend. Well, eventually my boyfriend and I got engaged. And my friend, she was very happy for me, which I would not expect anything less. But she noticed through social media one of his friends caught her eye. So she approached me about him, basically wanting me to introduce them or whatever. And I just pretty much told her, no. I wasn't trying to be mean or condescending to her, but it's like we're mid-30s. We're not doing those things that we did back in our teenage years or in high school or in college, like, oh girl, I'm dating this guy, hook me up with his friend type of stuff. Like, we're not doing that. And furthermore, my husband and his friends, they're military men, into fitness. They don't drink. They don't curse. They're good Christian men. And I wasn't saying no as in I didn't think she was good enough for him or something like that. But I was just being honest. I'm like, I just don't think that this is a good match, and I'm not going to be able to do this introduction. Well, I don't know if that bothered her. I would think that she would know that anything that I do is from a good place, and it's just from an honest place. So, months later, me and my husband my fiance at the time, we're planning our wedding and everything like that. And then he let me know that his friend and my friend were meeting up at some rendezvous weekend in some state. Now, this definitely caught me off guard because, one, my quote-unquote best friend never let me know that she had been communicating with my husband's friend, and they had gotten so close that they were planning this weekend meetup. And then also, my husband did not let me know either. So I definitely felt kind of weird, kind of out the loop. I was not, privy to this information. That's her life. She can do what she wants, but she tells me everything else. In my opinion, I felt like it was more of a, well, you thought I wasn't good enough for him, but look at this, I'm going to get him anyway, which is really her personality somewhat. Well, obviously, my friend is a beautiful, beautiful lady. If she hits some man up on social media and says, hey, I'm such and such friend, let's link up or start a conversation, of course, a single man is gonna be like, okay, they're gonna be open to that. My friend is a beautiful lady. So that passed on. I kept my feelings to myself about how I was feeling about her not telling me, or my fiance not telling me. I just kind of kept that to myself and just kind of moved on. Whatever, they're grown, they can do what they want to do. Well, anyway, time passed on, and I'm trying to keep this very short because I haven't even got to the crazy part yet. So anyway, time passed, and I would say a couple months maybe, and I was home in my hometown, and I went to see her as normal, have some drinks, girl talk, and things like that. So she kind of let me know that basically he's ghosted her, like, I don't want to deal with you anymore, we're not in a relationship, we can be cool. Basically, don't try to talk to me every day. Don't think I'm your boyfriend type of stuff. So I wasn't surprised because I know how my friend is when she gets in relationships and people that she really likes. She kind of latches on and, gets kind of too possessive. And to be honest with you, I didn't want that type of energy in my new relationship. And that's kind of why I kind of kept her separate from him, his friends. I didn't do the whole let's go out for drinks together when he came around, let's go out to eat, because I'm grown now. We're not young. We're not in our 20s. I'm a mid-30s woman. I've met a man that I'm serious with, that I'm engaged to. I don't have to have my friends around. I don't have to have my friends' approval. This is my adult relationship. So I wasn't surprised at all because my husband and his friends, they're all mature. They're, solid Christian men. So I definitely expected that to happen. Let's just say that. So anyway, she was all heartbroken. I basically just pretty much stayed out of it. I listened to her. I heard what she said. I didn't want to talk about it with her. I did not talk about it with my husband, with my fiance at the time, because I'm like, I don't want to get into this. I just don't want to be in that mix, because I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm so nice, I don't throw it in people's face. But I'm thinking in the back of my head, I tried to tell you to stay away from him. I tried to let you know in the beginning that this is not the relationship for you. You know, I think my friend is a wonderful woman, but this was not anything that you needed to be involved in. And I tried to tell her, but so therefore all I could do was just listen. Okay, sorry, I had to take a little sip of wine there. So moving right along. So we're engaged. We're planning our wedding. My husband and I plan to have this nice Vegas wedding. We invited about 50 people. Small and intimate, but I just wanted to have the people there that loved me, that supported me. You know, no outside people just loop-de-loop coming in thinking they're going to get some free food or something. I only wanted people that loved us there, and I'm so happy that that's exactly what we had. So my husband and his friends, they're, you know, getting plans for the tux and getting their colors together and, you know, communicating and all this stuff about their plans and auto attire and tux. But my friend, I only had two bridesmaids, my little sister and my best friend. You know, it was a very, very small, intimate setting. So my friend, she's not contacting me. I haven't heard from her, which is not anything unusual because that's her personality. Once she gets into a zone wrapped up with a dude or whatever she's wrapped up in, I don't hear from her. You know, that's just kind of how she is. When she's done with being consumed with whatever she's consumed in, then she'll pop back up. I know that's not a good friendship. You know, in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, why was I even tolerating that? But hey, I just am under the impression you deal with people at the level that they're on. I know that's how she is. So, you know, I don't try to change her. I don't try to make her understand or do different things. I just let her be who she is. So that's what I did. So all of a sudden, like I said, I'm traveling. She calls me out the blue and she tells me that my husband's friend, the one that dismissed her, he reached out to her and basically was just letting her know, hey, we're gonna be in Vegas together. We're gonna be at this wedding together. Why don't we just be cool and room together? Now, I don't know if they were trying to room together for the money issue or just being cool or whatever the case may be, but she agreed. And of course, my friend taking it for more than what it is. So my impression of it was that I just thought, okay, we're going to be cool together. We're going to be cool. We're going to be at the same wedding. We've had some history. We've had some past. So let's just room together. That's what she said they were doing. So again, I'm not questioning it. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, okay, whatever. That's what you guys want to do. So fast forward. So throughout this time, the engagement from the wedding, until we get to the wedding, like my friend is like telling me things about my husband from the past. So apparently she had a birthday and he sent her a happy birthday message. So she screenshotted me a happy birthday message that he sent her on Facebook from 8 years prior to the time that we met. So I'm like, okay, that's all right. Why are you sending me this? Like, I don't know what her ammo was for sending me that. And also, something else that was a little weird was, I guess, my friend, her and his friend got into an argument and she cussed him out and he doesn't like any cursing or whatever. So she feels the need to message my husband, my fiance at the time, on Facebook, telling him she's so sorry she cussed his friend out. I had to get with her, and I was like, you know what? Do not message my fiance ever again. He doesn't care if you cussed his friend out or not. And furthermore, if he did, you don't have to apologize to him. That's my fiance. You should be apologizing to his friend, the person that you cursed out. So, anyway, just crazy. So, again, I'm trying to be nice to my friend. It's just like she just was acting like really weird. So, my fiance was in a weird place. I'm in a weird place. I'm like, oh Lord, this is just too much. Well, anyway, so we get to the wedding. So this is where the craziness starts. So, okay, so we're in Vegas. Not that I'm a type of person to want things to be all about me. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I want a platform to let my feelings out, because I'm perceived as such of a nice, sweet person that I don't let these feelings out anywhere. So anyway, so in Vegas, of course, the night before the wedding or one of the nights there, you're supposed to go out and have a good time. So I planned all these events for us as a group, my family, his family, everybody to come together. We had a bowling night. We had a movie night. We went out to do different things together as a family. But of course, the night before the wedding, his boys took him out. My girls, which was aka my baby sister and her, was supposed to take me somewhere where obviously that didn't happen. We just kind of rode around, and neither one of them had anything planned, which, that kind of bothered me, because they're looking at me like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I'm the bride. You all supposed to figure out what I'm supposed to do, not me. Like, I've planned this wedding. I've planned all the events. What do you mean? What do I want to do? You two had one job, and one job was to make sure that I had a good bachelorette night. Well, neither one of them did. So, with technology these days, all you really had to do was just Google, like, what's the hardest party tonight? What's the good bar to go to tonight? Even if you had to do something impromptu, neither one of them did that. Like my baby sister, like I call her my baby sister, but she's 26 now. I got married a couple years ago. So at that time, she was like 22, 23, like still old enough to Google, okay? So my friend, neither my baby sister, either one of them, had anything planned. That bothered me as well, which of course, I was just kind of sad, kind of down. We had been drinking all day. I'm tired. So, it was okay. But in hindsight, I'm thinking like, okay, you're my friend. You're my best friend. You've known the struggles that I've gone through. You couldn't even come up with a bar. You couldn't even come up with maybe a cheap Vegas show for us to go to, or just walk the strip. Let's go to the room together and just laugh and talk and have some fun. Just anything. Let's sit in the lobby of one of these immaculate hotels, like something. None of that happened. Okay, let me calm down. Well, anyway, so this is the wedding. My husband, I felt like was trying to coast along her checking on me, because he knows how my friends, quote unquote, her, like, don't really check on me, check to see how I'm doing, support me, they just give me a call, hey girl, whatever. And he sees how I'm always giving, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I don't get it back all the time. So here it is, the night before the wedding, by myself. That's fine. So the next day, our wedding was at 2. So I had all morning, to get dressed. So my mom and my sister, of course, are in my room doing my makeup, helping me with my hair, helping me get dressed. My friend nowhere to be found. my fiance is like, I told him, I think he told his friend, because then that's when my friend popped up and was like, do you need anything? Do you need me to come to the room? She never came to the room. We rented the chapel at the hotel. So she was like, well, I'm coming down, to the chapel. She got there late. She got there basically 1 or 2 minutes before she was even supposed to walk down the aisle. Like, in the room with us, relaxing, chilling, getting dressed, getting together. My husband is there with all his friends. She's nowhere to be found. So that kind of bothered me too, because I'm like, why are you in Vegas? The guy that you're rooming with, which is not your guy, he's in the room with my husband and his boys. Like, they're all on time. They're very prompt. I'm sitting in my quarters with my mom, of course, my sister, my dad, my family, but she's nowhere to be found. Like, you're supposed to walk down the aisle like 5 minutes. I had wedding coordinators that was like, where is your bridesmaid? I'm like, I don't know where she is. I don't know. So finally she walks in, in 1 minute before we're supposed to walk down the aisle. I'm too traumatized to even address it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Well, okay. So we get married. All is well. All is good. So then, this is when the craziness pops up. So that night, of course, the whole day, the wedding was at 2. And then my husband and I, we went out with our families to some concerts and all that stuff. So the next morning, like, I'm still traumatized by it. The next morning, my husband's friend and my friend call and say, can we come up to your room? We're like, okay, that's fine. I mean, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I can't remember the time exactly, but I definitely know that it was before noon. And after a night of drinking and, partying and all of that, noon is early. So, my husband's friend and her show up to our bridal suite. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, they just called and said, can they come up and talk to us for a second? I'm like, sure. What's the deal? So anyway, basically my husband's friend sits down, with me sitting there, my husband sitting there, my friend there, and basically turns to me and says, if you want to have a successful marriage, you need to get this person out of your life. I'm like, what? Okay, what? Like, what are you talking about? And literally, my mouth is open, my friend's mouth is open, my husband's mouth is open. Like, we're like, what? And he's like, the mind frame that she has and the personality that she has, she's not the type of person that you need to be seeking advice from if you're going through things. And he said other things that kind of made me feel like she was maybe running her mouth about confidential things that I've told her about my relationship. Now, let's get it clear. I do not reveal anything that was detrimental, past normal venting that a girlfriend or wife would do. I mean, I know better than that, but it just kind of alluded to the fact that that's what he was saying. And he was like, if you want a happy marriage, you need to rid her, because the type of advice that she's going to give and the type of mind frame that she has this is not conducive for a marriage or a successful marriage. And I'm just like blown away. Like, this is my friend of 20 years. I really respect my husband's friend, but truth be told, I've only met him a few times. I've only known him for a few years, not as long as I've known my friend for 20 years. So I'm like, okay. So he just flat out said, you know what? I do not want her. I don't want to be in a relationship with her. I want a strong woman. She is not it. And so there would be no confusion and no, communicated foolishness later. This is not the woman that I want. So we'll all know. And I'm just like, okay, like my mouth is my mouth is open. I'm like, what? Okay, so we go back and forth a little bit and have this conversation. I guess they got into an argument. She was upset because he wouldn't have sex with her that weekend. I know that's not the whole reason why they got into it, but it was just like they got into whatever type of fussing that they did. But my thing is that for them or him to come to my room, a newly married couple, the next morning after I just got married, and tell me that my friend of 20 years is not the friend that I need to have in my life, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, that's obviously worth listening to, but I still want to talk to my friend on some downtime and just, kind of sort things out and see like what's going on. Why would he say that? Okay, so this is, I decided not to address things that day because this is the day after my wedding. I'm in Vegas with my friends, with my family. I want to enjoy my new husband. We have events planned. We have things, we're going to do. I'm not trying to address all this right now. So I guess they checked out of whatever room that they were checked in. So she wanted to leave her things in our room. He left his things in our room. So we all dispersed for the day. So she was, walking around with us, basically the third wheel, looking all sad and depressed and all that old stuff. And I'm like, I don't really know what to do. Like, I'm here with my husband. I have matching t-shirts. Like, we're trying to enjoy our time. And then on one hand, I have my little sad little friend walking around with me looking all sad and depressed. I'm like, I don't want to abandon my friend, but I don't know what to do. So I call my mom. My mom's there too. My mom's off with my aunts and just enjoying herself, doing her things. I kind of tell her what's going on. And so she's like, okay, I will sit with her. We can hang out together. And so y'all can do y'all thing. So she does. She goes to my mom and, hangs out with her and all this stuff. And what's weird is my mom, we went to see, my mom was sitting in the lobby and things like that. So I would be calling her. We were on the phone. And I was kind of telling her, okay, my husband went upstairs to change clothes, or he went upstairs to get something. And what's weird is my mom would be telling me that right when I'm telling her that my husband went upstairs to do this or that and get something, that she would be like, my friend would be like, well, can you give me the room keys so I can go take a shower, so I can go get out of these clothes, so I can go put my swimsuit on to get to the pool. And my mom had to flat out tell her, look, you are not going to go in my daughter's room that her husband is in, one, by himself, and two, you are not about to go in their room, period, without them being in there. And my mom is really, really nice, really sweet, professional lady, but for my mom to get that firm with somebody and tell her, I don't know what you got going on, I don't know what you're trying to do, but You're not going to go in my daughter's room. One, when I just told you that her husband was up there taking a shower or changing clothes or going up there to get something. And then two, you're not going to go up there and just be in my daughter's room taking a shower. She and her husband just got married. That is their room. You don't go in their room without their permission. So my mom handled this. Shout outs to my mom. So that was that. That was really weird. So she and I really didn't get a chance to do too much talking one-on-one while we were there after that situation, because I was just trying to focus on my husband. We were there for the entire week, and I just didn't want to deal with her. So days passed. I made sure that she got back to her home state where she was from. I mean, she had all these issues going on. She lost her wallet. She's mad because his friend didn't babysit her while she lost her wallet. He's like, okay, where was the last place you saw it? Like, let's call these places. Like, he's trying to get on it to find the wallet. You can't get anything done if you're sitting here crying on my shoulder about the wallet. Like, it was just a series of things. I lost my wallet. My wallet got my ID. My wallet got my debit card. My wallet got this. I was just like, oh my God. It's just so much going on. I can't leave Vegas. I got to have my ID to get to there. I mean, true enough, these things were serious, but I'm just like, I was drained. Like, I can't be focused on you at my wedding. And that is kind of why I'm putting it on the podcast, because, I definitely want this feedback, because I'm torn between the sweet me and the other me. Because I'm like, this is my wedding. Like, I can't be consumed with you. My mom was there, my dad, my other family. Like, it was all these other people that was able to assist her and help her. I'm off with my husband doing things that we have planned, but then I felt bad because, like, this is my friend. I don't want to leave her, but I'm like, anyway, make a long story short, she got back to where she was going, flew back safely. Everything was good. Everything was fine. So, me and my husband enjoyed the week in Vegas. So the next week rolls around. So after we got back, got settled, I'm still emotionally drained. So after we got back, I waited a week and I called her. I'm calling her. I'm like, okay, explain to me what was going on in Vegas. Why did he say this? Why did my husband's friend come in our room the morning after we just got married and basically tell me that my 20-year friendship needs to end because you're not the type of person I need to have in my life? Explain this to me. I want to talk about it. Let's talk it out, because I want to hear what you have to say. So she basically tells me that, he was mad because he didn't have enough money for the room, and she had to pay this and pay that. And I mean, I don't know. I still can't come up with what the story actually is. She was saying he was rude to her, talking to her this and that way, and then we blended into he didn't have enough money for the room. I don't know. I still, to this day, couldn't get anything clear out of it. I felt like we had a good conversation. I felt like, well, good enough. I felt like, we didn't end on a bad note. We just kind of ended on a whatever note. However, that was the last time I've talked to her. And it's been 2.5 years since I've gotten married, so it's been 2.5 years since I've talked to her. And that's what I'm coming to this podcast for, to say my feelings and speak my truth on certain situations, and hopefully get feedback from, the audience on what do you think I should do? Should I reach out to her? I'm not going to lie. I miss our friendship very, very much. Like, she is a friend that I could laugh, talk crazy to. Like, me and her have never, ever, not one time during our 20-year friendship have we ever had a problem. Now, I'm not saying we've never had disagreements, but we could speak our truth to each other and agree to disagree. We would clash all the time and disagree about certain things, but I always felt comfortable that she would be honest with me. She always was comfortable that I would be honest with her, and it was no judgment. I never had a problem with thinking that she would repeat anything. I've never had a problem with thinking that she was trifling toward me, talking about me, or doing anything that was not in my best interest, and I could definitely say that confidently. But it's like the way that she acted from the time I got engaged up until we talked a week after my wedding, like she was just a brand new person. And I'm so confused if I should reach out to her to try to mend the friendship and just kind of be the bigger person. I don't know if she's embarrassed about her behavior, or she just thinks because I'm married, I moved on. But I'm not that type of person. This is my first time being married, first and only last time being married. I'm not that type of person. When I was in a relationship before I met my husband, I'm not the type that dismisses everybody in my life because I've got a man. I'm not that type. So I don't know what's going on in her head, but I know, as I'm getting older, I'm about to turn 40. She is just a chapter in my life that is just open. Like, it's a door that's open. It's like a swinging door, swinging back and forth. I don't know if I need to close it, or if I need to seal it, or if I need to open it and see where she is now, because I haven't talked to her since that last conversation a week after my wedding. I did reach out to her twice for her birthday, which was a couple weeks after our conversation, and she never responded, never called me back. And one thing about her is she is somebody that will definitely call you back. If she saw that I called her, she would call me back. And I reached out to her on social media as well as on the phone, and I have not heard from her since. So it's kind of like, should I reach out to her or should I not? Should I just close the chapter and leave it alone? But to be honest with you, I want to know what's going on. Like, what did I do? What are you mad at me for? I don't know if she's mad or not, but like, I didn't do anything. I wasn't the dude. I didn't, be with you and think that you didn't want a relationship with me like you did with this guy. Like, I don't know if she's upset because the guy didn't want anything to do with her, my husband's friend, and she's just embarrassed because he didn't want to have anything to do with her, or if she's just jealous of my marriage and, I've found happiness and we're not two drunk single girls anymore. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it seems like I would like to know, especially because I've invested 20 years in this friendship with her. I know her family, her mom, parents. She knows my parents. Like, it's just like everybody all the time is asking me, like, where is Mika? Where is Mika? And I'm like, I have not talked to her. And I just want to know, what is your feedback? Do you think I should reach out to her and, just kind of have a conversation after it's been 2.5 years to see, what's going on? Or should I just leave it alone? So you can reach out to me at Klaceechatz at gmail.com. That's Klaceechatz, Klaceechatz. And so just let me know, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? And if I have a lot of feedback, I'll do a part 2 and maybe try to get her on the line and we'll have a discussion. But it's bothering me because this is a friend that I really could have used. I'm newly married. This is like I said, my first marriage, my only marriage, hopefully. And I've needed a friend. I've moved to a totally different state. I've never lived with a man before. This is my first, I'm not going to say serious, but this is my first cohabitation type of relationship. And I've needed a friend to talk to. I've needed a non-judgmental friend. I've needed a friend that I knew loved me and cared for me and would ride for me. And if not for nothing, a friend just for a girl's trip. A friend just to hang out with. Come fly here, I'll fly there. Let's meet up somewhere. Just a friend to just have some drinks with. Like, I've needed my friend, and I want to know others' opinion. Do you think this friendship is worth salvaging? All right, well, that's my time. That's episode 1. Should I reach out to my friend or not? So reach out to me, Klaceechatz at gmail.com, and let me know what you think. Till next time, bye.